planned shutdown. Soludo condemns killing of U.S. embassy staff, vows to smoke out perpetrators. And some more stories also says resign while EFCC extends probe to presidency. Matawale tells Bawa. Blinken's call to Tinubu acknowledgement of fraudulent election. Article. And some more stories from the Vanguard. You find world doctors condemn global violence against physicians. Matawale worked for Tinubu's success in Northwest. This is coming from a particular group. Toll in Kenya, church cult death rises to 220. Makinde set to attract foreign investors at London Summit. We take a couple more stories from the Vanguard before we move to another paper. Here's something from the entertainment corner a bit. It says Harry, Meghan in near catastrophic New York paparazzi car chase. And finally, don't create problems for Tinubu. Labour tells Onanuga. All right, so we'll move to another paper now. We move to the Punch newspaper. And our first story here says, this one says, I'm unaware police seized Sheon Kuti's gun license. This is coming from his lawyer, Mr. Olumide Adenike San is on that one. Confusion as LP factions clash at tribunal. And some more stories from the Punch newspaper. This one says, I regret backing Tambuwa to become speaker. Bajabiamila. 7 banks fined 1 billion naira for forex offences. Matawale urges EFCC to probe presidency, officials, ministers. To the major story, PDP, Labour Party kick as U.S. Secretary of State calls Tinubu. U.S. promises continued comprehensive security, economic cooperation. And Atiku LP berate Blinken, says phone call demoralizing, worrisome. We still are on the Punch newspaper. Confusion as LP factions clash at tribunal. Minister capets resident doctors as strike grounds hospital. U.S. demands justice for slain consulate officials. Varsity admission with tiers. According to this one, direct entry applicants sleep rough at JAMB office. We still take some more stories from the Punch newspaper, and this one says 2026 World Cup. Why teams would be based in clusters. Infantino. Oil prices stable as U.S. reserves rise. Hardship drove migrants back to Nigeria. MBS. NOA applauds Hilda Bassi, urges students to emulate her values. And one more story before we move to another paper. FRSC blames speeding as truck crushes Ogun policeman. Now we move to another paper real quick. Let's take a look at the Daily Post newspaper this morning. And our first story from the Daily Post says, this one is nobody can stop Tinubu, Sultan of Sokoto. Tribunal, why Atiku's application for live coverage must be rejected. This is coming from Tinubu. INEC kicks against Peter Obi's request to televise election tribunal. And some more stories. We'll take a look at something from the sports corner. UCL, Man City trash Real Madrid 4-0 to play Inter Milan in final. And back to politics, 10th NAS leadership. Then from Umai, support Akpabio, Nigerians in UK tell senators elect. Gas supply challenges for Gencos responsible for power shortages. And some more stories says FEC okays $4.7 billion for Ondo Snake Island Burutu Port development. And some more stories, Buhari reacts to Sunday Mbank's death. Jigawa patients stranded as resident doctors join strike. Oyo arrests 4,000 environmental offenders. And to the entertainment corner, friends have shown me Shege Bobrisky on why he doesn't keep friends. Back to some politics story. Plateau lawmaker urges Buhari to stop killings in Mangu, Bokos. Ogbara attack not targeted at U.S. officials. Indigents killed 2, community source. 2,000 foreign local athletes to participate in 2023 Onitsha City Marathon. And we're still on the Daily Post. We'll take a couple more stories before we move to another one. 5 men jailed over kidnap of female journalist. Peter Obi LP must pay 1.5 million naira to access documents. INEC. YPP withdraws from Abia LG elections. Blast ABSEC. And finally, from the Daily Post, I won Delta governorship election. Omoagege vows to retrieve mandate in court. All right, so we take a look at the Premium Times. Why gunmen killed U.S. officials in Nigeria, Governor Soludo. And only 1.8% of Nigeria's PHCs have required skilled birth attendants officials. Over 100 killed in Plateau in 48 hours. Lawmaker raises alarm. And some more stories from the Premium Times. This one says, and doctors strike, government says negotiations ongoing. NARD says not true. Senate urges CBN to release $717.5 million trapped airline funds. And some more stories. Ghana's president to chair book launch on Buhari. Turkey summons German ambassador over police search of journalist. And some more stories from the Premium Times says alleged amnesty fraud. Court rejects EcoBank's motion against Nigerian government. And we take some more. Policeman killed, 5 injured as Dangote truck rams into vehicles in Ogun FRSC. Pro-presidency officials, ministers, governor tells EFCC. And some more stories here. This one says State House Medical Center, Buhari to inaugurate 21 billion naira presidential wing Friday. And we move to another paper after this one. Presidential election, court adjourns Obi LP's petition. Let's quickly take a look at the Nation newspaper before we go on that commercial break. Our first story from the Nation. This one says, expect institutional reforms, Tinubu promises Nigerians. And some more stories says, doctors strike, there are riders to that. Hospitals paralyzed in Lagos, Abuja, Calabar, others. Ondo, Yobe, Oshun yet to join patients for evacuation. And some more. Ex-Methodist prelate Mbang dies at 86. Akere Tolu and PDP. Okay, that's not so clear. I'll move away from that one. And there's a writer to the major story here. And it says U.S. Secretary of State calls President-elect on phone. Keyamo chides fuming article for criticizing Blinken's action. And one more before we go on that break. EFCC writes outgoing governors. And we take that break now. When we come back, we'll be back with more. And, of course, analysis. Stay with us.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Gbogbo wa la ní irú ọjọ́ ọ̀la tó ń wá, ìpele kan tó kàn láti ibi tá a wà, àmúṣe ọjọ́ ọ̀la tó dára jù tòní lọ, àti àǹfààní tá a ní láti ṣe wọ́n láṣeyọrí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ojú inú wa ṣe gbòòrò tó. Tẹra mọ́ fífi ojú inú wò ó ní báyìí tó ní àǹfààní láti ṣe.
INT'L, a reason to imagine.
Hello, fellow kids. My name is Aloko Moshewa. You must be wondering what I'm about to say, but I'll leave you to wonder for just about 1-2 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Smart Kids and Parents Hangout Season 5. David, please take it up from here. Oh, yes. We are excited about our 32 FM Smart Kids and Parents Hangout Season 5, which we hold at the Palms Mall, Ring Road, Ibadan on the 27th of May, 2023. There would be loads of games, fun, plenty to munch on, and we get to see Auntie Yellow.
Yes, children, I can't wait to see you. Tell your mommies and daddies about our Smart Kids and Parents Hangout. The ticket can be gotten at our office, 4th floor, Cocoa House, Dugbe, for 2,000 naira only. Or you can call Auntie Yellow on 080 36 51 50 50. 080 36 51 5050.
Auntie Yellow, you didn't talk about the talent hunt.
Oh, yes. Thanks, darling. We are celebrating our children and their unique talents. What can you do in 60 seconds? Act, sing, dance, crack jokes, imitate, draw, play instrument, or whatever. Record yourself displaying your talent. Ask daddy and mommy to share it on their social media handles with the hashtag 32FM Smart Kids Show to get as many likes as possible and win incredible prizes at our Smart Kids and Parents Hangout on the 27th May 2023. Smart Kids, are you ready?
Yeah! Yes!
I'm living the life cause I get this
Hey, kọ́ńbù ẹ̀kú àlejò emúgbòǹgbò ọ̀nà ẹ̀kú àlejò ẹsẹ̀ Ìbàdàn nílé Olúyọ̀lé ẹ̀kú àmójúbà Tizeti Network Limited pẹ̀lú Tizeti ìlò omi òjò lẹ́ẹ̀ máa lo ayélujára internet ní yàwàlù torí pé gbajúgbajà ní iléeṣẹ́ Tizeti Network Limited nídìí ìpèsè ayélujára lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà fún iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá àti olókoòwò kéékèèké lábẹ́ àbúradà Tizeti ẹ lè browse kẹ́ stream kẹ́ sì tún gbá géèmù bó ṣe wù yín láì níkọ̀sẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìlànà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́mùkú data kèé máa ṣeré ìwọ ni kó má sọ̀fànù 12,500 naira péré lẹ́ẹ̀fì jẹ mùlá data fódìdí oṣù kan gbáko lábẹ́ àbúradà Tizeti láì níkọ̀sẹ̀ ẹ kàn sí wifi.com.ng/oyo ẹ sì lè pe 0122987886 tàbí kẹ́ ẹ tẹ àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ sí internet@wifi.com.ng ayélujára ní yàwàlù.
máa wò mí bí mo ṣe fẹ́ yín.
Mo ń gbọ́ 32 FM.
32 FM 94.9.
Hey, heard of the new Samsung Galaxy S23 series? I bet you have. Sleek, powerful machine. Can't wait to cuddle one of those exquisite beauties? It's your lucky day. Samsung has teamed up with Glow to bring you the most amazing offers ever. Happening live only at Glow World outlets nationwide. Buy the Samsung Galaxy S23 series and get 18 gigabytes data absolutely free. There is more. You also get the opportunity to trade in your existing phone or get financing for an upgrade. And if you're one of first 100 trading or device financing customers, you get a whopping 100,000 naira discount on any Samsung device purchased. So get to a Glow World outlet right now because this offer is only valid while stocks last.
Glow Unlimited.
Are you passionate about using your media skills to end gender-based violence? Do you know that 1 in 3 women globally experience violence? Do you know that according to the UNFPA, 4.16 million girls and women around the world are at risk of female genital mutilation? These and many more are some of the challenges facing us as a society. It is therefore important that we rise to make a positive impact in tackling these challenges. This is what we believe in at Realize Africa, and this is what we stand for. If you are interested in joining our media team to campaign against these challenges, then come and raise your voice with us. Do reach out to us via 081 33 11 0479. 081 33 11 0479. And you can also reach out to us on social media via @DoItRightRGN. Realize Africa. Know it, loud it.
Capture life's moments in stunning clarity with the new Techno Camon 20 series. With sensor shift OIS technology on a 108 megapixel ultra-wide camera, enjoy the best smartphone experience brought to life in vivid colors with its 120Hz AMOLED display. That's not all. The Camon 20 series is the perfect steady night portrait master, so you can take splendid low-light photos at night out with friends. Buy any Camon 20 series today and get free gifts plus up to 11 GB MTN data for up to 6 months. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply. Techno, stop at nothing.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákànlọ́. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
It's time to enjoy fast and reliable internet connection for less.
It's time to go big in the INT'L Home Broadband All-Time Mega Offer.
It's time to take advantage in the INT'L Home Broadband All-Time Mega Offer. Get a MiFi with up to 125 gigabyte bonus data for just 5,000 naira, or a router with up to 240 gigabyte bonus data for just 10,000 naira. Visit any INT'L shop or www.airtel.com.ng/HBB now.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, it's great to have you join us. 32 FM 94.9, the Break of Dawn paper review. We're taking a look at the analysis of the headlines in a moment. I am Kenny Durutilu.
And I am Adenike Ademuwagun. Professor Oluwajedokun joins us this morning for the analysis. Good morning, Prof.
Well, top of the day to you, and it's a pleasure to be here.
All right, Prof. So the factional national chairman of the Labour Party, Lamidia Papa, yesterday alleged that the crowds that mobbed him on Wednesday at the venue of the Presidential Election Petition Court was hired to kill him. Now, if you took a look at that video, if you saw that video, the people seemed really angry.
Well, they're angry because they feel that Pampa is a plant. They feel that he's trying to hijack the party, and they feel that he's an imposter. But it is the fault of the Labour Party itself, because the reason why they're in this mess is because there's an allegation of forgery, which is still within the court. But the court really has made some interim rulings. So I don't think they should be blaming Apampa. But are they hired to kill him? I don't think so. I think there was some jostling, and I think there was some anger. But I don't think they were hired to kill him. I think they probably were there, you understand, to shake him up a bit. I'm not against, booing, a bit of booing and jeering, but I'm certainly against violence. I'm certainly against violence. And if there was any violence, I think the police should do their jobs and apprehend those responsible. Yes, there will be booing, there will be jeering, and sometimes it will be uncomfortable. But that's the way that politics sometimes plays out. I just hope that the Labour Party will get its act together, and let's know who is in charge of Labour Party, who has the mandate to run it.
All right, we'll take this headline from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, having to do with the striking doctors. Now, federal government moves to replace striking doctors with ad hoc staff. Now, this is coming from a statement from the Minister of Labour and Employment, who has come out to say that they would replace the striking doctors with ad hoc staff, also saying that the doctors are crying wolf in this particular situation. Now, the thing here is another statement from the Minister of Labour. Some would actually say this is another enraging, statement from him.
And he's insisting on no work, no pay.
Well, that's the law. The law says no work, no pay. So on that, I think the law is on its side. But replacing them with ad hoc staff, these are resident doctors. They have some level of expertise. We're not talking about people who just come out of university. We're talking about people who have, over the years, have been able to maintain and have been able to achieve a degree of expertise and sophistication, which the patients, of course, will demand when they go to many of these hospitals. So they need to be careful with this ad hoc staff they're talking about, because if they put people that are just come out of NYSC, probably going on internship, then it might be much more of a disaster for the people, their patients.
Where's the place for? Sorry, Prof. Where's the place for placating the doctors? Sometimes even when you know that a certain situation is not what it should be or what it is, sometimes you want to at least mediate in a way that it doesn't enrage or aggravate the situation at hand. Yeah. And I believe it's not something we've seen so much from the minister.
Well, the minister has his own ways of dealing with these issues. And I don't even think that these doctors want to be placated anyway. They know this government is not going to deliver anything. Why? Because it's lame duck. What do I mean by lame duck? It has less than 2 weeks to go. So they know they're not going to get anything from this government, but they want to make a point. How do I know that? I know that because I've spoken to one or two of their leaders. So they want to make a point. They're not going to be placated. And of course, the ministers knows that there's no placating going on here. They're making a point for the incoming government so that the government, as a matter of priority, when they come in, will attend to some of their needs. And they call it a warning strike. In other words, it will go on for the next 3 or so days. It's 5-day warning strike. They will return to work, but they would have made their point, and they believe they would have made it clearly.
All right, let's talk a corruption-related story now from the Daily Post. I have this one. EFCC writes outgoing governors. Now, the anti-graft body has written to some of the governors, is also beaming its searchlight on the commissioners who served in various administrations. Now, Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle confirmed the receipt of the agency's letters and objected to what he described as the consistent castigation of governors by the anti-graft agency. That's his position of EFCC's move to carry out investigations on governors.
Well, first and foremost, Matawalle is quite a bit comical when he says consistent, castigation
by the EFCC.
their actions speak for themselves. When they have humongous allowances, when they keep on indulging in expenditure which is beyond the reach of the state, then of course you expect EFCC, it's their job to be a satellite. That's just statutory responsibility. But having said that, I'm not necessarily taking these letters very seriously. Why? Because in the past I've done some research on political corruption, and many of these cases take 10, 15 years to be resolved. So I'm not saying anything is going to come out of this. But what we must note is that these governors lose their immunity. Some of them lose their immunity. Therefore, it means that the FCC can actively pursue their investigations to a logical conclusion. They used to say in those days, that was Ribadu's days, that the fear of EFCC was the beginning of wisdom. I think that's a bit of a blasphemy, of course, but they used to say it. Now, nobody fears the EFCC. They just think they're just there, and some people take them as a laughing stock. So I hope that the EFCC can redeem themselves, get some real good prosecutions going, and if people are guilty, ensure that they're prosecuted to the fullness of the law.
Will that be extended to the presidency, those investigations?
Absolutely, without a shadow of doubt. The greatest expenditure on public funds comes from the federal government and comes from the presidency. They spend quite a lot of humongous amounts of money. No one is fingering them. No one is suggesting that they are rogues and that they've embezzled or they're involved in maladministration or done, put their hands or fingers into the cookie jar. What we are saying is that because most of the money is managed by them, resourced by them, therefore the satellite should be up on them to see whether they've managed the funds well.
All right, the Delta State House of Assembly on Wednesday approved a supplementary budget of 71 billion naira presented to it by outgoing Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, barely 13 days to the end of his tenure in office. Now, some people have said that he's, of course, learning by example, because when you talk about the fact that the president also has gotten approvals for certain funds or has requested for approvals for certain funds, despite the fact that he's got very minimal time in power. And so he's walking in the footstep of the president, which is also, I don't want to say his principle or some sort. And, at the end of the day, should this be happening just 13 days to the end of his tenure in office?
He's having a laugh, isn't he? He's having a laugh. It can't be serious. You understand? You have 13 days, less than 2 weeks to go, and you're bringing the budget. First and foremost, the budget is an indication of your expenditure, what you're going to spend. Who's going to fund it? And people are concerned that when you have this kind of budget, you understand, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to spend it, but who's going to implement it? In 2 weeks, are you going to be able to implement that budget that you're projecting upon the next governor to come? So I don't take that seriously. The next governor will come and do some budget. It's different from procurement, because procurement means you're actually spending the money. Budget means that you're catering, you understand, you're saying this is what we intend to spend. But some might say it's a precursor, you understand, to getting money to be able to spend to meet up with that budget. If indeed that is what it's doing, then some would suggest that there's something going on amiss, something amiss here. Some would suggest that it's an attempt at grand larceny. Some might even suggest, you understand, that the governor, you understand, is up to some shenanigans. But I may not suggest that.
All right, we'll take another story. Atiku kicks as U.S. Secretary of State Blinken calls Tinubu. Now, it was reported that Blinken, during a call with Tinubu yesterday, assured the Nigerian president-elect of the U.S. commitment to further strengthening the U.S.-Nigeria relationship. Now, Atiku in a tweet also expressed disbelief, saying the call was a contradiction to the publicly stated position of the U.S. on Nigeria's election, talk about the election being fraudulent and all of that. Your reaction, Prof?
First and foremost, I don't think the Americans give a toss as to what exactly is going on in Nigeria as far as it favors their own national interest. Americans are after American first. They're after their national interest. And even if they rig to kingdom come, insofar as it meets their national interest, they will find a way to justify it and soothe over it. And I think the Americans also practice what is called real politics. You understand? They're pragmatic. Right. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, whether you are dissatisfied or not, whether you feel the elections were rigged or not, we are going to have on 29th May a president-elect, you understand, is going to be sworn in. So at least for now, until the tribunal says otherwise, you are going to have to deal with somebody in that seat. And the person you deal with is not Atiku, is not Obi, it's going to be Tinubu for now. And that's what the Americans are grappling with, and that's what they will deal with, even if they don't like the process. And apart from that, as I've said before, they're after their own national interest.
I mean, it's what your law says that will go by. This
Absolutely.
is how you operate it, and that's...
Absolutely. You go
that's
by
what
the
we can
law.
work with.
As far as the law is concerned, today, we have a president-elect, as far as the law. And until that law is overturned by, what do you call it, the election tribunal, you understand?
Right.
He is the president-elect. You may not like it, you understand? And I had somebody the other day when I was making this point saying, oh, I'm supporting Tinubu, I'm APC support. I'm not supporting no one. I'm just supporting the rule of law.
Federal government to generate 369 billion naira from Abuja Kano Airport's concession. That's the headline here. And it says that the federal government is looking to generate $797.4 million as concession fees and taxes from the concessionaire corporation America Airports. Now, according to this report, it says when you put it together, it's about $800 million, and this is equal to the amount of money that was borrowed to build those 4 airports, according to the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika. Now, does this seem like an empty projection of some sort? Because tomorrow, when the concession takes place and, of course, the privatization happens of some sort, and then they start to say, oh, it wasn't as expected. Are they just saying this for us to believe that there's a possibility that this can work and this kind of money will really genuinely come out of this?
Well, I hope the projections are right, and I hope they know what they're doing, because the whole idea of a concession is to take it off the government books so that the government is not laden and the government doesn't have to keep on spending. Because these airports don't make money. These airports are not run in any profitable way. And I think it's a good idea to give it to concede and allow other people to run it in a way that is profitable from that point of view. Of course, you have to ask the question whether their projections are realistic. If their projections are spot on, then it means that whatever loan they used to build it, you understand, can be recovered from that. But if it's not, then of course it will be catastrophic, particularly for the workers and those workers who would have to bear the brunt. But I think anything is worth a stab. We don't have any money. The cupboard is bare. And therefore, we have to find creative ways to ensure that our facilities, infrastructure, are run and they are run well. In the United Kingdom, most of the airports, you understand, are being run by private entities, and of course the government makes a lot of huge, humongous amounts of money from it. Nigeria can follow that path and we can do it well.
All right, we have to go on a break right now. When we return, we'll open the phone lines to take your reactions. So do stay with us.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Gbogbo wa la ní irú ọjọ́ ọ̀la tó ń wá, ìpele kan tó kàn láti ibi tá a wà, àmúṣe ọjọ́ ọ̀la tó dára ju tòní lọ, àti àǹfààní tá a ní láti ṣe wọ́n láṣeyọrí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ojú inú wa ṣe gbòòrò tó. Tẹra mọ́ fífi ojú inú wò ó ní báyìí tó ní àǹfààní láti ṣe.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Nǹkan tí mo bá ṣe ò ní fẹ́ mi láì ní òdiwọ̀n. Ó tó gbẹ́kẹ̀lé lójoojúmọ́. Kò sóhun tí mo bá ṣe ó fi fẹ́ hàn mí.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákọlọ. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
Ó fi fẹ́ hàn mí.
Capture life's moments in stunning clarity with the new Techno Camon 20 series. With sensor shift OIS technology on a 108 megapixel ultra-wide camera, enjoy the best smartphone experience brought to life in vivid colors with its 120Hz AMOLED display. That's not all. The Camon 20 series is the perfect steady night portrait master, so you can take splendid low-light photos at night out with friends. Buy any Camon 20 series today and get free gifts plus up to 11 GB MTN data for up to 6 months. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply. Techno, stop at nothing.
32 FM Play and Win Show. Enjoy radio like never before. Radio that gives you more. Radio that makes you happier. Call in on your radio, play some game, and win some cool cash.
Let's do this.
Do what?
All I do is win, 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 no matter
32 FM Play and Win Game Show. Every day from 2 to 2:30 p.m. on the Laughter Station, 32 FM 94.9. You, our listener, get to call in on your radio, play some game with Lumi, and win yourself some fantastic prizes. I bet you don't want to miss this.
They say your life and destiny is in your hands, and that's why Glow has brought instant money into your hands by giving you the power to buy your Green Lotto tickets with your Glow airtime. So when you dial star 73342 hash on your Glow line, you can buy Green Lotto tickets with your airtime. Play your favorite games, check your results, and get your winnings via airtime or direct transfer to your bank account. Now you have the power to change your life with your hands by dialing star 73342 hash on your Glow line to play on Green Lotto using your airtime and win instant cash today. Glow Unlimited.
Hey talented kids, how would you like to showcase your talent to the world? In celebration of this year's Children's Day, 32 FM 94.9 Ibadan, we will be awarding talented kids within the ages of 5 to 11 years. Whatever your talent is, whether that be dancing, singing, stand-up comedy, drawing, painting, playing a musical instrument, cheerleading, lip syncing, magic display, and much more. All you have to do is get your parents to help you record a minute video showing what you do best and post up either on Facebook or Instagram with type of talent. Make sure to use the hashtag SmartKidsShow and tag at 32FM949 Ibadan. We will repost your entries across Facebook and Instagram. Entries close on Sunday, the 21st of May, 2023. Top 3 entries with the highest number of views and likes combined win the competition and get the chance to perform live at the Smart Kids and Parents Hangout Season 5, happening live this Children's Day, 27th May 2023 at Palms Mall, Ring Road, Ibadan. Gate fee is 2,000 naira.
Oh boy, this your cough,
Baba, I don't drink medicine tire.
Self-medication? No, nah.
Wetin I go do? Hospital money no be here.
When Airtel and AXA Mansard Health Plan dey.
That's right. With the Airtel AXA Mansard Health Bundle, you get access to a doctor, medication, and hospital cover up to 100,000 naira. Dial star 141 star 44 hash now to select the plan that suits you.
Airtel, the smartphone network. 32 FM 94.9.
Thank you for staying with us on the show. It's 32FM 949. The Break of Dawn Papers Review. The phone lines are open for you to share your thoughts with us. 0705 5,949 and 0809 7,949 to get your reactions, and as well as Facebook 32FM 949 Ibadan. We have a comment here from Facebook that we're just going to touch real quick. Our doctors in Nigeria focus too much on money. That being said, our government should try and meet their demands. There are some countries in the world, especially in places like Asia, where the doctors trek up to 3 kilometers to treat their patients just because they are so dedicated to their work and to their patients. Not everything is about money, just as most people seem to believe in this country. That's from Omotayo Oluwarotimi Onobamiro. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Thank you, bro.
Hello, we can hear you.
Hello?
Please go ahead, sir. Go ahead. We can hear you.
I'm just congratulating the professor, and you have to fear it. You can be accused of being Tinubu supporters. I've equally been accused of being an obedient, but I'm not bothered because I stand for truth. Thank you, sir. And Asiwaju is the president-elect for now. Until the Supreme Court recognizes otherwise, if at all, I think we should equally understand better instead of blaming any person or group of persons who recognizes Asiwaju as such. Thank you. I'm John Njoko.
All right, thank you very much. 0705 5,949 0809 7,949. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
My name is William.
Okay.
I'm calling from Ologoero.
All right, let's hear.
This Asurica said that the money that the concessioners are willing to pay for the Abuja and the Ira airport is almost exactly the money we borrowed to build this airport. I want to ask, did we borrow money? And I'm sure we are still paying interest on these monies we borrowed to build the airport. Did we borrow money to build the airport so as we can concession it to those that are willing to pay us the money we borrowed? And also, other countries, they have their own airports. How are they, going about the management of their airports? even those that will come and take it over as a public, as a business, how are they also going to manage the airport and make money from it? Don't we think about how to make money from it before we went to go and borrow money to build the airport? I mean, that's God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me just make one point. Ogunlesi is one of the persons who owns several airports in the United Kingdom through his company. You understand? And of course, the taxpayer in Britain is all the better for it. So I think it's the modern way of running things rather than being laden with a lot of debt.
All right. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Kelewalabi from Asashebo Road. Senator Ali Udume of a Borno senatorial district has vowed to challenge the 800 million approval of President Muhammadu Buhari. I want to stand with Senator Ali Udume. You should not only challenge them. You should not only challenge them in court. You should start from the house. You should gather his loyalists and ensure that this bill is being stopped. This bill is like planting a financial ball for the incoming government. That's my take on that one. On the issue of Matawale, who said that anti-graft agency should extend the probe invitation to the Buhari cabinet also. It should not be only the state commissioner or the governor. It should be cut across the board. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you very much. Raja Hafiz on Facebook says, good morning, Kenny Adenike. About the strike of residents' doctors, it is wrong for Ngige to say he will replace them with ad hoc staff instead of him to look for the way to resolve the issue. Ngige is not worth being a minister. God bless Nigeria. We'll take some more calls. Hello.
Yeah, Adenike.
Good morning.
Good morning. Prof, good morning.
Good morning.
First, like the caller said, there is nothing anybody can do about it, whether we like it or not. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president-elect. So for now, that is who we know. And if anybody recognizes him as that and calls him, the person is on the right, until and if the court says otherwise. Prof, there is something I feel ashamed, probably to use that word. I heard a serving governor celebrating his paying salary and pension. I feel ashamed of Professor Ben Yaya Day in Cross River. It just tells you the mediocrity of our way of reasoning. For God's sake, what is governance in this part of the world? The man says he celebrates paying salary. Good morning. This is okay.
All right. Prof, any reaction to that?
Well, paying salary is a function of the contract. It's an exchange. It's consideration. So anybody that is celebrating it and calls himself a professor, you have to interrogate his qualifications, his mind up, his level of thinking, and what exactly is going on. Is it our psyche that has twisted us in such a way?
All right, comments on Facebook here. Honorable Akikumi Kamil says, Labour Party claims to be a saint and different from other parties. Look at them washing their dirty linen in public. The Court of Competent Jurisdiction has indicted their chairman, Aburi, with such fraudulent charges, and they are still here defending and fighting the man who qualified to be in the same post. Baba and Papa, who has been in the party before Obi and his toxic supporters, nothing should happen to him.
All right, 0705 5949, 0809 7949. Those are the numbers to join the conversation this morning.
Prof, do you want to react to any of the things that have been said
yes,
so far?
the Papa thing. Nobody's going to hurt Baba or Papa. That's what we call him, Lamidi, I think. Nothing is going to happen to him. I think the reality of it was that the Labour Party wasn't going anywhere until Obi and his fellow supporters joined it and moved it forward. So I think there's a conflict. Who has the legitimacy in the Labour Party? Yes, we know that there's an issue there, and I think that's yet to be resolved.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Benga Mario, calling from Apata.
All right.
Now, on Ngige saying that it's going to replace the striking doctors with another staff, I think it's barbaric. How would you have said that? Does the ad hoc staff add the tenants that those doctors they have? I think it shouldn't be condoned. And on Matawale saying that the president should be probed and some other people like that, I think Ngige should be number one on the list. Malami should be number two on the list. Those two people are my eyes are on them, and I want the HT to go after those three people. And Malami, this man, three of them should be proved accordingly. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, 0705 5949, 0809 949. But those are the numbers. Prof, before we go, any thoughts or reactions to some of the comments? Okay, we have another call.
Yes,
Let's take
the
this final
doctor.
one before we wrap up.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, everyone in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is John Olariwaju from Mago. On the issue of Baba, I think Baba should take it easy. I don't know whether somebody is macaroni Baba or not. I don't know. But Baba should just take it easy. He's an old man, and he needs to have a respect. So whatever the case may be, if he knows that he cannot settle with these people, just allow the case to just go like that. So that's the advice for Baba. And therefore, the governor of Zamfara State, to me, that calling FCC to go after the Buhari ministers, to me, it's like somebody that left his responsibility. He didn't need to call the FCC body to look after them.
Right.
It is their duty to go after them. And if they fail to do so, though I don't even have trust in them, it shows that this is another way to show that they were just a puppet.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Yes, I think doctors deserve our support. I think they work hard, they sacrifice a lot, and I think they deserve our support. And I just hope that the government will realize that and sort them out quickly.
All right, we have to go now. Thank you very much for joining us on the Break It Down paper review for today, the 18th of May, 2023. I am Kenny Durotilu.
I am Adenike. Ademuwagun, the Smart Kids, is up next.
The views and opinions expressed